Some things feel personal because they touch an old wound, not because they were actually about you. A delayed reply, a quiet mood, a small criticism, or someone else's choice can ruin your peace for hours. You may replay the situation. You may ask yourself what you did wrong. You may imagine that someone is upset with you. You may feel rejected before you have any real evidence. And the hardest part is this: taking things personally can feel like emotional protection. But often, it becomes emotional self-punishment. Today, we are going to look at 5 things you should stop taking personally. And number 4 is painful because it can feel like rejection, even when the full story may have nothing to do with your worth. Before we begin, please remember this. This video is for general education and self-reflection only. It is not professional psychological, psychiatric, medical, legal, or therapeutic advice. If your thoughts feel overwhelming, if emotional pain is affecting your sleep, work, relationships, or daily life, please speak with a licensed mental health professional or contact local emergency support. Now let us start with the big idea. Taking things personally often feels like self-protection. Your mind is trying to understand danger, rejection, disappointment, or disrespect before it hurts you again. That is understandable, but not everything that affects you is about you. Someone else's mood is not always your fault. Someone else's silence is not always rejection. Someone else's criticism is not always an attack. Someone else's choice is not always a judgment of your value. And someone else's limits are not always proof that you are too much. The goal is not to become cold. The goal is to become clear. The first thing you should stop taking personally is other people's moods. Someone may be quiet, distracted, short, tired, or emotionally distant. And your mind may immediately say, "Did I do something wrong? Are they upset with me? Did I disappoint them? Should I fix this?" But other people have inner worlds you cannot always see. They may be stressed about work. They may be worried about money. They may be tired. They may be dealing with family issues. They may be in pain. They may be overwhelmed. They may simply need quiet. Of course, if someone is consistently disrespectful, cold, or harmful, that is worth noticing. But one mood is not always a message about you. A helpful question is this: do I have clear evidence that this is about me, or am I filling in the silence with fear? That question can save you from carrying responsibility that does not belong to you. You can be kind without becoming responsible for everyone's emotional weather. The second thing you should stop taking personally is a delayed reply. A message sits unread. A text gets answered hours later. Someone responds with fewer words than usual. And suddenly your mind starts creating stories. They are ignoring me. They are upset. They do not care. I said something wrong. The relationship is changing. Sometimes, yes, communication patterns matter. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, disappears, or uses silence to control you, that is different. But many delayed replies are not personal. People are busy. People get distracted. People feel tired. People forget. People need space. People see a message and plan to respond later. People have lives you cannot fully see. The problem is not the delay itself. The problem is what your mind does with the delay. A helpful question is this: am I responding to the facts, or am I responding to the story I created around the facts? The fact may be simple. They have not replied yet. The story may be painful. They do not value me. Those are not the same thing. Learning to separate fact from story is emotional maturity. The third thing you should stop taking personally is constructive criticism. This does not mean every criticism is fair. Some criticism is rude. Some criticism is careless. Some criticism is more about the other person's ego than your growth. But not all feedback is an attack. Sometimes, someone is giving you information, a suggestion, a correction, a different perspective, a chance to improve. When you take every criticism personally, feedback becomes shame. You hear, "This could be better," but your mind translates it as, "You are not good enough." You hear, "Please change this," but your mind translates it as, "You failed." You hear, "I disagree," but your mind translates it as, "They do not respect me." This can make life exhausting. A helpful question is this: is there useful information here, even if the delivery was not perfect? If yes, take the useful part. If no, let it pass. You do not have to swallow every opinion. But you also do not have to turn every correction into a wound. Your value is not destroyed by feedback. A mature person can listen, consider, adjust if needed, and still keep self-respect. The fourth thing you should stop taking personally is not being chosen, invited, included, or prioritized every time. This one can hurt deeply. Someone makes plans without you. A friend chooses another friend. A family member seems closer to someone else. A coworker gets the opportunity. A group chat happens without your name in it. And the mind says, "I am not important. I am not wanted. I am easy to forget. I do not matter." But not every exclusion is a statement about your worth. Sometimes people choose based on timing, convenience, shared interests, location, history, mood, capacity, personal preference, or simple oversight. This does not mean your feelings are wrong. It hurts to feel left out. It hurts to feel forgotten. It hurts to feel like you are always the one reaching. But the pain of not being included should not automatically become proof that you are not valuable. A helpful question is this: does this situation truly define my worth? Or does it only show someone else's choice in one moment? You can notice patterns. You can choose better relationships. You can stop chasing people who repeatedly make you feel invisible. But do not let one invitation, one decision, or one social moment decide your value. The fifth thing you should stop taking personally is other people's limits. Someone may not have the emotional capacity to support you the way you hoped. Someone may not understand your feelings. Someone may not respond with the warmth you wanted. Someone may not be able to give advice. Someone may not be ready for a deeper conversation. Someone may care about you and still be limited. This is difficult because when you are hurting, another person's limit can feel like rejection. You may think, if they cared, they would know what to say. If they loved me, they would show up better. If I mattered, they would have more time. But people can care and still have limits. They may be emotionally tired. They may not have the skills. They may be dealing with their own stress. They may not know how to support someone well. They may have a different communication style. This does not mean you should accept one-sided relationships forever. It does mean you should learn the difference between someone's limit and your worth. A helpful question is this: is this person rejecting me, or are they showing me their capacity? That distinction matters. When you understand capacity, you can make wiser choices. You may stop expecting deep emotional support from someone who cannot give it. You may seek support from someone safer. You may set a boundary. You may accept reality without attacking yourself. Now let us pause for something important. Not taking things personally does not mean accepting disrespect. It does not mean making excuses for harmful behavior. It does not mean letting people mistreat you. It does not mean ignoring patterns. It means you stop making yourself the cause of everything. You can say, "This behavior hurts me." You can say, "I need distance." You can say, "This relationship is not healthy for me." You can say, "I deserve respect." But you do not have to say, "This happened because I am not enough." That is the difference. Healthy boundaries protect you. Personalizing everything blames you. If you want a simple peace checklist, try this. Before you take something personally, pause and ask, what else could be true? Ask, do I have evidence, or only fear? Ask, is this about my worth, or someone else's mood, timing, capacity, or choice? Ask, is there a pattern I need to respond to? Ask, what is the healthiest next step? Sometimes the next step is a conversation. Sometimes it is a boundary. Sometimes it is letting the thought pass. Sometimes it is choosing not to chase. Sometimes it is getting support from someone who can hold the conversation with care. You do not need to carry every mood, every silence, every criticism, every exclusion, and every limit as proof that something is wrong with you. Sometimes the situation is about someone else's stress, timing, capacity, preference, or perspective. And sometimes, yes, it may show you something important about the relationship. But even then, your worth remains separate from their behavior. You are allowed to reflect without blaming yourself. You are allowed to care without over-caring. You are allowed to set boundaries without becoming bitter. You are allowed to protect your peace without becoming cold. Before you make any major emotional, relationship, medical, legal, or mental health decision, please remember that this video is for general education only. It is not professional psychological, psychiatric, medical, legal, or therapeutic advice. If you are experiencing serious emotional distress, please speak with a licensed mental health professional or contact local emergency support. If this video was helpful, subscribe to Golden Wisdom TV for practical psychology, emotional wisdom, and peaceful life lessons after 40. In the next video, we will look at 5 habits that quietly drain your peace after 40.